Welcome to the weekly shir of the Zer Shimshon. Bez Hashem, this is Yud Ches Chai Shvat. Bez Hashem, so we have a life. Tafshin Pei Beis Brias Olam, and I have a shtickle here, the Zer Shimshon Parshas Yisro. It's Kapitel Ches. It says in Shabbos Per Kama. Daf Yud Amud Aleph Tani v'Chia Bara Midifti Yamod Ho'am El Moshe Kitala Daitcha El Kol Dayan Shedan De'Ememes Amito Yafilo Sha'achas Male Alav HaKasav Ki'ilo Naseh Shutaf LaKadosh Baruch Hu B'Maaseh Bereishis. So they all approached Moshe Rabbeinu for Sakdim. Yesh the Daktak Ma'ul Amitoi. What does it mean? Amitai. Ma inyan zelazah. Be'isa be'elu advorim rabba. It's brought in the Midrash Rabba. Omar Rav Yeruvin Choismai shal HaKadosh Baruch Hu emes. Choismai, the seal, the stamp of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is truth. Lama emes, afka emes. Emes is yesh by shleisha oisi ois aleph mem and Saf. It's the first letter of the Torah, the middle letter, and the last letter. So the Gemara says in Shabbos says it stands on three, like everything stands on two legs. And Sheker only stands on one leg, all the letters, Shin and Kuf and Resh. Aleph is the Rishon of the Isim Hamid. Blamer ani rishon ve'ani acharin u'baladai ein Elokim. So there's nobody else but God. V'hu ve'echad v'mi yeshivenu. Who's going to reply? Who can respond to God's sak? Omer Reish Lakish HaKadosh Baruch Hu dan ve'achaysim la'atzmai. HaKadosh Baruch Hu paskins and seals it himself. Ve'af ha'midrash hazeh tzarech b'yur. Mai. Kamashman. This midrash needs explanation. The Yisrael Sabali reminds Dayan Echad Sorech Litzayin Lazel Lazel Ve'achakach Lahachriya. So one that Dayan has to claim for the two litigants, and then afterwards to make a decision. Decide between the two. Lachein Alephu Rishain. So first of all, he opens as meritorious. Maybe you did something right. The Tav is the last letter of the letters, and maybe it needs to be. Maybe that's an obligation. The mem is if there's three dayanim, then there's three. One echad mizak ve'echad mechayev ve'echad machriya b'neim. So one makes the person privileged. One is obligating him, and one says he's deciding between the two. The pshara. Ani rishon l'zachus ve'ani achrein l'chayev o bebaladai ein Elokim l'achriya be'achrat tzayva. So God says, I'm the first, I'm the last, I'm Emes. And then beside me, there's no other gods to decide, to make this decision. And before this, it says, Hazkireni nishafta yochad. So a pasuk in Yeshaya, Mem Gimel. And afterwards it says, Ani Rishon v'ani Achrein. In King Kol Dan Din Emes Amitai, and the judges, the truth, the judgment, Afilo Sha'achas, even one time. Kleimar Shehu Dayan Yechidi, he's an individual judge, but Dan Be'atzmai, Tainus Zechus, Ve'achayva, Ve'achakach Machriya B'neim. He looks at both sides, meritorious, not meritorious, and then decides, Kirem is milas emes, midas kainai shel yeshbay. It's like the word emes, like his master. V'misayim hakasav v'baladai ein Elokim. Beside me, there's no gods, there's no judges. Hoshuter, Shoitef Imoy Isun. Vezeo Ki'ilu Nasa Shutef Lakadosh Baruch Hu B'Maaseh Bereishis. Omer, Maaseh Bereishis, Mishum Seifei Teva, so Bereishis, Bora, Elokim is Emes, right? Tov, Aleph, and Mem, Emes. Oid, Yesh Leimer, Lefamim, Mitzad Adin, who brought her. Really from Mitzad Adin, he's exempt. But Habolet says to Dei Shamayim, Chayev. But he wants to be Yotzi, Kaladeos, he'll take the obligation on himself. Hativoyle Imami, the Bolet says to Dei Shamayim, Kedisa Beper Gimel the Metzia, Bob Metzia, Daf Lamed Zayin, Amad Aleph, Ayin Shabbat Tzaitzvus. Look at the Tzaitzvus there. Zeu Dan Din Emes Dahainu Hadin Kimoy Shehu. That means he judges the din exactly, strictly. And the Mitoy is Ratzalemer Bebolet Seisi Deshamayim. Now Mitoy is coming to tell, according to the Zera Shimshon, that he's coming to the B'Yotzi Deshamayim, the Inami Behahu De'Armina Hasam B'Metzia. The Metzia says Min V'chein Hu B'Shulchan Aruch and Choshen Mishpat Siman Shin Sif Aleph. Shnayim Shehifkidu Etzel Echad Zeh Mana V'Zeh Masayim. So two people deposited by objects by one money was 100 zuz and one was 200 zuz. They call Echad Omer Shali Masayim, and each one says it was mine was the 200. Each say Masayim Masayim V'Yafsid Mana Mibesa Mipnei Shepasha Shehu Lei Shehava Lei Lemeida. So the person that was the nifkad who took the deposit has to pay 200 to each one in order to be Yotzei Deshmayim. The Inu Loi Tivayle, Kolechad Bebori, if they didn't claim each one with a Bori claim, with an absolute positive claim, in Bolet Seisi Deshamayim, Chayev, Aval Bedini Adam is Potter. Okay? The Adam is Potter, but Dini Shamayim is Chayev. The Tzaitzvus says, writes over there in Perikam and Shabbos, Daf Yud, Al-Hahu, the Dan Dimas Amitzai, Pukit Dan Din Meruma. So Tzaitzvus says, Din La'amitzai means excludes something that's going to be deceitful. The Kavanas Divrehim, Shadayin Mechuyev Ladin Al Pi Emes Shenis Ames Lai. So the judge has to judge this thing according to what appears to be the most truthful to him. But zero la mitzvah, that's what means la mitzvah. V'lo ya'pi hatzayno shabali hadinim imhein machishes emes. Not according to the claims of the litigants that appear to be contradicting one another. Kimoy shekasav, the Sma writes in Choshen Mishpat, Simon Tesvav. Okay, im eno barur loy ha'emes yisalik asmai min adinahu. If it's not absolutely clear to him, he should just remove himself from that judgment, like it says in the Shulchan Aruch over there. Omnan, with nidon zeh al menash shalmana masayim. But in this case where two people come and one claims he deposited 100 and one deposited 200, for sure, somebody's lying here. But still, the judge can obligate the person that was deposited by to pay back both people. Stay money, 200 to this one, 200 to that one. Even though it's not an accurate judgment. He should have been careful about who he took, how much money he took from each person. But that was it means amitzai. Since he wasn't careful, shmamina the light copied. So therefore he has to pay according to the truth which is clear to him. What does he mean if he's a sha'achas? It's the kind of whole world. In the pasuk, the Komer called Dain, Jadan Din Afilo sha'achas. What does it mean? Even 1 hour, 1 second? It doesn't take 1 second to make a judgment on a judgment. The Yeshatar the hahu, the hava amina, the hefker miuteres. The dai hayal leimar min boker ad erev. That the hay of the ha-boker is extra, and he should have said, it could have said from morning until evening. But here it tells us that the judge doesn't have to sit the whole morning, only in the beginning of the morning. Only from the time the sun rises until Netzachama ve'enu rak sha'achas b'kiruv, and that's about 1 hour. Ve'af ha'hei the ha'boiker mashma hachi, even though the hay is understood like that. The hainu hay milim milim, that means chamisha milim. That's how long it takes for the transport the time. So Omru Chazal Gemara in Pesachim said Tafsadik me'alei shachar ad netzachama chamisha milim. Okay, now I got a segula here from Menachem Binyamin Pashkes. He said before Shavuos in Tafshin Ayin Gimel, he asked his friend in reference to the Sefer Limud of Sefer Shimshon, because it was Mesugel. It's very pertinent to help Yeshua's with the Zachas, the Pekidus, Zeresh Shakaima. So apparently, he said, Im Ani Ma'amin Bekach. If I trust, if I believe this, Im Shamati Tza'ochein Haftachas HaMechaber Mitzkayemes, and that the promise of the author, Zeresh Shimshon, is fulfilled. Hey Yeshli Ben Shekvar Nasui Yosim Arba Shanim. I have a son that's married already 4 years, and he's still waiting for help. He doesn't have a son. So Hishpati, I decided to do this. 2 things. Gam Emunah v'gam Raya. He says, Yeshli Emunah Tzadikim. He says, I believe in the Tzadikim, because if he says that, he means it. I believe with my whole heart, Sedavar Tzadikim, Yamoid v'tzadik shemaftiach v'goyzer b'vadei devorav lo yashuvu reikam. That his words won't come back empty. V'gam ke'reisi b'einai b'kama anashim she'asu kvius b'sefer zachal Yeshua. So I saw many people get a Yeshua from learning the sefer. V'chalkam af zachu lekach miyad b'oiseh shana she'yischilu b'liman. And some of them even got their salvation in the same year, or even very close, a couple of months later, after they started learning. And some people, they had the weekly with Zeresh Shimshon printed out and distributed to different shuls. So they also got Zeresh Kayam. They got answered for their whatever there was Yeshua's. And the Rosh Koilo in the Apter Shul in the neighbor in the Rosh Koilo Limud HaSefer Yer Zereshim Sipur Liharbi Sipur Yeshua's Neflaim Shezachu HaLoimdim HaIskim Bekach. They told them many stories of people that had Yeshua's and Mordecai Mises with them. Omash Zachahu be'atzmai, what he himself got answered. Ve'atod loy rachayka hi mimcha. It's not distant. V'hinecha yochod gam lahamid betzadik v'la'aseis came. So he told him, you have to do this. And Be'ezras Hashem, you'll see my friend decided to buy 2 sforim, one for himself, one for his son. And they were mekabel on himself, bling never to learn every Shabbos Kodesh b'meshech Shana for a whole year. But Simon Tov and Mazel Tov v'Shua She'ovar. This was a while back, right? Tafshin Ayin Gimel. That week, the year after they started learning, Sipur Li Baruch Hashem Noilad Ben Levenoish B'Shas Toivo Mutzlachas. V'hidgish b'fonayim the haidos, and he explained explicitly said in front of me to thank me al kain shezachu b'kiflayim. First of all, that he was able to learn this Torah. This Torah is beautiful, of the Zer Shimshon and his Chidushav. And the second thing, he was Zeicha to the Yeshua Gedoyla B'Zchusay, in the merits of the Zer Shimshon. V'yazar Hashem Yisbarach Yizke l'Reish Reiv Simcha v'Nachas. You should be Zeicha to Reiv Simcha Nachas v'Yizke l'Gadol B'Torah l'Chuppah l'Maisim Tovim b'Toich Harchavat Sadas v'Kedusha. And everybody in Ani B'Raisi is Divra HaTzadikim Chayim HaKayamim Es HaTfila L'Fnei Adayin Kol Shekein Yizke Kol HaLoimdim. So should be privileged. All those are learning. The Kol HaMasayim B'Hafas HaSerasov, and all those that are trying to distribute this. The Kol HaMitzapim L'Yeshua L'Hipaked L'Hivashea B'Bonai Chayim Mitzayni V'Vichei B'Korah Mamash. So those should be privileged to get whatever they need. That it should be parnasa or good health or children. Because it's Hashem Yisborach. Zchus Rabbeinu HaKodesh Yamid Lahem L'Zaram L'Tzeis Mikol HaMitzarim Adoichakim Yikuyim Dvorav B'Chaysav B'Torah Asay Yagin L'Aleinu V'Hu Yamitz Toiv B'Adeinu Elmein King Yerotzayin. Thank you very much. Have a good week. Good Shabbos.